Welcome to USA Old Coins, the channel where we explore the fascinating history of American coins. In today's video, we're taking a closer look at some of the most iconic and inspiring Washington quarter dollars, including the special Maya Angelou and Dr. Sally Ride commemoratives, the historic Crossing the Delaware issue, and the unique 1776 to 1976 bicentennial coins. Join us as we uncover the stories, artistry, and incredible value behind these remarkable pieces of American history. Top 1. Today, we step into a story that blends American history, art, culture, and the modern spirit of collecting, all wrapped inside one remarkable quarter minted in the year 2022. Imagine opening your hand and seeing a quarter that doesn't just show a figure, but tells a story. On the obverse, you still see George Washington, but unlike the traditional face we've seen for decades, this version is redesigned to appear more alive, more expressive. His profile looks fresh and bold, a tribute to the new era of American women quarters. Then you turn it over, and suddenly you're face to face with an image so powerful that you feel it before you fully understand it. A graceful, uplifting figure of Maya Angelou stands with outstretched arms, rays of sunlight rising behind her as if lifting the entire world upward. It is a celebration of her voice, her courage, her poetry, her soul, and that artistic beauty is exactly why collectors stop and stare. But what truly makes this coin exciting is not just the design, it's the thrill of discovering the rare varieties, the valuable minting mistakes, and the hidden treasures that most people overlook. That's where collectors like you come alive. Let's talk about the P Mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of these quarters, but even in big mintages, magic happens. Sometimes dies crack. Sometimes striking pressure shifts. Sometimes the tiniest misalignment creates something totally unexpected. And these unpredictable events turn ordinary coins into rare collectibles. Collectors searching through rolls have already reported some attention-grabbing error varieties on the Maya Angelou quarter. One of the most popular is the die chip error, small raised blobs of metal that look like extra feathers, extra bumps, or extra shapes on Maya Angelou's arms or on the bird to her right. Some of these chips are small, but the bigger and more dramatic the chip, the more exciting the value becomes. Another highly desired variety is the double die. Imagine the design looking like it has a slight shadow, letters slightly thicker than normal, or rays behind Maya Angelou appearing doubled. A true double die discovery on this coin creates excitement across the coin community because it means a fresh new collectible has been born in real time. That's why collectors keep their eyes glued to the details of this coin. Struck-through errors are also possible, where grease or debris on the die causes parts of the design to appear faded or weak. Missing details can sometimes boost a coin's worth if the error is dramatic and clear. Even a subtle misalignment of the die, causing a slightly shifted rim or off-center appearance, can send hobbyists searching through bags of quarters like treasure hunters. And of course, any quarter that appears to have incomplete plating, scratches from the minting machine, or clipped planchet edges becomes instantly more interesting. The 2022 Maya Angelou quarter isn't just a coin. It is the first in the United States Mint American Women Quarter Series, making it a modern milestone. First series coins often gain special attention decades later because they mark the beginning of something historic. Collectors know this. Historians know this. And that's exactly why this coin has become a favorite, because it represents the starting chapter of a major new series honoring American women who changed history. As you watch this video, imagine the years ahead. Imagine someone opening an old jar of change and discovering this quarter with a dramatic die chip or double die. Imagine the rush they feel. That moment may happen to someone today. It may happen to you. That's the thrill of coin collecting, the thrill of USA old coins, because every coin has a story waiting to be discovered, and remember, your coins might carry secrets too. So always check every detail, every shadow, every small shape. You never know when you're holding a treasure worth far more than 25 cents. Now we come to the part everyone waits for, the real market value and the most recent auction results. A regular 2022 P. Maya Angelou quarter found in pocket change is usually worth its face value. But when you find one in brilliant uncirculated condition, collectors pay more. Coins with dramatic mint errors or high-grade certified examples can reach surprisingly strong values. Some of the best examples offered in auctions have sold for amounts between $10 and over $100 depending on how unique the error is, how clean the strike appears, and how eager collectors are during bidding. Yes, some quarters that cost 25 cents have turned into real treasures worth prices ranging from $10 to more than $100. Before we end, remember to comment below about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Your comments help this community grow and help you discover whether the coins you own might be rare or valuable. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to USA Old Coins and comment on the video so you never miss new coin stories, new discoveries, and new treasure hunts. And don't forget to like the video to support the channel and help more collectors find us. Top 2. The moment you pick up the 2021 P. Washington quarter in your hand, you feel something different. It's not just metal. It's not just weight. It feels like a message, like a whisper from history, reminding us of voices that fought to be heard, of women who shaped America, and of collectors who know that every coin carries more than a number. Welcome back to USA Old Coins, where each coin becomes a living story, where the past speaks, and where collectors discover treasures that most people never even notice. Look at this coin closely. At first glance, it seems like a normal Washington quarter. The familiar portrait of George Washington still stares forward. The shine, the rim, the edges, everything looks standard. But take a breath, turn it slowly, and you begin to realize that this isn't just another circulating coin. This 2021 PP stands out for collectors because of a fascinating phenomenon: unexpected mint errors, strange die flaws, and small variations that transform an ordinary quarter into something rare, exciting, and potentially valuable. And when you hear the name Vododar Muged, the name that has become popular among collectors describing some of the unique error-marked coins from this year, it becomes even more interesting. Let's step into its world. Picture the Philadelphia Mint floor in the year 2021. Machines pounding. Metal flashing. Sheets of planchets sliding across surfaces as sparks fly. Among millions of perfect strikes, there are always a few surprises, little mistakes, little miracles that collectors hunt for like buried treasure. That's where the thrill begins. Some of the most fascinating examples reported by coin enthusiasts include dramatic die chips that appear on the letters, on Washington's hair, or near the motto. These raised blobs of metal can shape themselves into tiny bumps, extra extensions, or unusual thick spots. Collectors call them everything from crown chips to ear breaks, depending on where they appear. And the bigger the chip, the more dramatic the look, the higher the value climbs. But that's not all. Some 2021 P quarters, especially those associated with the nickname Vododar Muged, show signs of minor doubling on the lettering or tiny distortions on the reverse design. When a doubled image appears, however small, collectors lean in with excitement. A true double die error is one of the most thrilling discoveries in coin collecting, and while many people overlook it, the trained eye sees fortune hiding in plain sight, Another type of variation that makes this coin exciting is the struck-through error. Imagine a small piece of cloth, grease, dust, or even a tiny fragment of metal on the die during the strike. That microscopic object blocks part of the design, leaving a strange, ghost-like marking behind. These coins look unusual the moment you see them, missing details, fuzzy areas, or patches where the design seems mysteriously erased. For collectors, this is pure gold. Then there is the misalignment factor. Some 2021 P quarters show slightly off-center strikes, uneven borders, or rims that appear thicker on one side. These subtle distortions happen when the die shifts even the smallest amount. And while some misalignments are minor, a dramatic one can turn a simple coin into a rare find worth far more than anybody expects. What makes this coin even more fascinating is the passion collectors have developed around it. The nickname Votodarala Muged became popular in online coin groups and collector chats where people shared photos of their 2021 quarter errors that looked different, eye-catching, or strangely marked. Some said the shape of certain die chips resembled letters, some said it looked like patterns that reminded them of vintage women's suffrage art. That's the magic of collecting, stories forming around small details, giving a coin personality, making it more than just metal, but the true beauty of this coin lies in discovery. Imagine somebody opening a roll of quarters, expecting nothing unusual. They spill the coins across their table. Their eyes scan quickly. Then something catches the light, a little shape near the rim, a doubled shimmer on the letters, or a strange texture on Washington's profile. Suddenly their heart beats faster. They pick it up, turn it under the light, bring it closer. That moment, that spark, that is what makes collectors fall in love with coins forever, and that is why the 2021 P quarter continues to attract attention. Because out of millions of ordinary strikes, there are a few extraordinary ones. There are coins with stories. Coins with flaws that became masterpieces. Coins that collectors chase like hidden gems. And your coin, yes, the one you have in your hand right now, might be one of them. Now we reach the moment everyone waits for. The real value. The real numbers. A normal 2021 P quarter is worth its face value. But high-grade examples, uncirculated pieces, and especially dramatic mint errors can jump significantly in price. Some recent collector sales and small auction listings show that rare error examples of this coin have sold anywhere from $5 to over $100 depending on the type, size, and clarity of the mistake. Yes, some of these quarters have reached values between $5 and $100. Before you go, remember to comment below about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Your comments help others learn, help you discover if your coins are rare, and help our community grow stronger every day. And don't forget to subscribe to USA Old Coins and comment to join our family of collectors. And of course, like the video so more treasure hunters can discover us. Top 3. From the moment you pick up the 2023 P Washington quarter featuring Eleanor Roosevelt, you realize immediately that this coin is different. It doesn't just shine, it speaks. It doesn't just display a design, it carries a message. And today on USA Old Coins, we take you deep inside the story, the beauty, the mysteries, the errors, and the hidden value that make this coin one of the most talked about quarters in modern circulation. Hold it gently in your hand. Turn it under the light. Feel the history. The face of Eleanor Roosevelt on the reverse is bold, powerful, and unmistakably alive. Her voice still echoes across America through her work in human rights, her influence in politics, and her strength in shaping the nation's moral direction. And now, That legacy lives on inside a single 25-cent piece minted in Philadelphia. But that is only the beginning of the story. Collectors all over the world have been fascinated by this coin because of its unusual design details, its striking artistic elements, and, most importantly, its growing list of rare mint errors that turn everyday pocket change into real treasure. The 2023 P. Eleanor Roosevelt quarter has quickly become a favorite for treasure hunters who love checking roll after roll, searching for that one extraordinary piece hiding among millions. Imagine the Philadelphia Mint in full production mode. Machines pounding with precise rhythm, sheets of blank planchets traveling across metal rollers, and dies striking thousands of coins per minute. In that fast-moving environment, a tiny misalignment, a crack in the die, a chip in the metal, or a bit of grease on the press can transform an ordinary coin into something incredibly rare. That's exactly what brings collectors running point. One of the most frequently spotted errors on the Eleanor Roosevelt quarter is the die chip. These small raised lumps of metal appear where the die has worn down or cracked slightly. On this coin, collectors often find die chips around the letters in "In God We Trust," inside the folds of Eleanor Roosevelt's clothing, or near the scroll she holds. Some are tiny, almost invisible to the untrained eye. But others are dramatic, big enough to change the look of the design, and those are the ones that bring in strong value. Another thrilling variety to look for is the double die effect. Imagine the letters looking slightly thicker than normal, as if they have a shadow behind them. Maybe the tips of Roosevelt's hair appear doubled. Maybe the scroll has double blinds. These doubling effects create some of the most valuable modern quarters in circulation, and collectors always check this coin carefully under magnification because even the faintest doubling can turn a regular find into a collectible worth several times its face value. Then there are struck-through errors, coins that were struck while grease, dust, cloth fibers, or tiny metal fragments were stuck to the die. These coins come out with mysterious missing details, faint lines, or smooth patches where the design should be sharp. A dramatic struck-through on the Eleanor Roosevelt quarter can boost its value significantly, especially when the affected area is large or easily visible without tools. Misaligned dies also appear in some 2023 P examples. When the die shifts even slightly, the coin may show uneven borders, thinner edges on one side, or a subtle off-center look. And while minor misalignments are common in many years, some stronger examples from the Roosevelt quarter have gained attention in collector groups because a more extreme misalignment can make the coin visually stunning and highly collectible. One of the most eye-catching errors that collectors dream of finding is the off-center strike. These are coins where the design is noticeably shifted, sometimes by 5%, 10%, or even more. A dramatic off-center strike instantly becomes a treasure. And while rare, a few examples have already surfaced among 2023 quarters, causing excitement across the community. This is why collectors are obsessed with the Eleanor Roosevelt issue. Not just because it's part of the American Women Quarter series, but because it has become a playground for error hunters. People all over the country share their finds online, comparing shapes of die chips, measuring misalignments, and discovering fresh varieties that weren't documented before. Every week someone posts a new photo that makes collectors stop scrolling and lean in with curiosity. Imagine opening a fresh roll of quarters. You spread them out like silver confetti across your table. At first you see ordinary coins, nothing special. But then your eye freezes on one. Something looks different. A thicker letter. A strange bump. A missing detail. Your pulse rises. You bring the coin closer. You tilt it under the light. That feeling, that sudden spark of discovery, is what keeps collectors searching, and what makes this 2023 P. Roosevelt quarter an unforgettable part of modern coin collecting, the story of Eleanor Roosevelt, combined with the excitement of real mint errors, has transformed this coin into a star. It's become a symbol of history, art, and the thrill of the hunt. And maybe, just maybe, the coin sitting in your pocket right now holds a surprise waiting to be discovered. Now we arrive at the final piece of the journey, the true value of the coin. A normal circulated 2023 P. Eleanor Roosevelt quarter is worth its face value. But coins in mint state condition, shiny and untouched, already sell for more. And when you add dramatic mint errors or high-grade certification, prices rise quickly. Recent collector sales and auction results show that error examples of this coin have sold for values between $5 and $150 depending on rarity, size, and visual appeal. Yes, some of these quarters have reached prices between $5 and $150. Before we close, remember to comment below about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Your comments help this coin collecting family grow and help you learn the true value of the treasures you already have. And don't forget to subscribe to USA Old Coins and comment on the video to stay part of this amazing community. And of course, like the video so more collectors can join our journey. Top 4. From the moment you see the bicentennial quarter dated 1776 to 1976, something inside you pauses. This isn't just a coin, it's a celebration. A memory. A symbol of 200 years of American independence captured in a single piece of metal. And today on USA Old Coins, we are going deep inside this legendary quarter, its secrets, its rare errors, its hidden treasures, and the powerful story behind its creation. Hold it in your hand for a moment. Feel the texture. Turn it under the light. You'll immediately notice something familiar yet different. On the front, you still see George Washington. But flip it over, and there it is. The drummer boy, standing proudly with his colonial-style uniform, the drum strapped across his body, and the flame emerging from a star above his shoulder. This reverse design became one of the most loved images ever placed on an American coin. And that's exactly why millions of collectors hold this quarter close to their hearts. But what many people do not know is this: hidden among the huge number of bicentennial quarters are rare varieties, unexpected mistakes, unusual metal compositions, and minting errors that can turn a simple pocket coin into something worth far more than 25 cents. And for collectors, that mystery, that possibility, is what makes the hunt unforgettable. Let's travel back in time to the mid-70s. The United States Mint was working at incredible speed, producing commemorative quarters for the nation's 200th birthday. Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mint facilities ran non-stop. The presses pounded. The dies heated up. Planchets flew across the production lines. And when millions of coins are struck this quickly, small mistakes become big opportunities for coin lovers. Some of the rarest and most talked about bicentennial quarter varieties include the double die errors. These happen when the design impressions on the die shift even slightly, creating letters and numbers that look thicker, shadowed, or doubled. Imagine turning your quarter and noticing "In God We Trust" looking slightly bold or doubled. Or the date 1776 to 1976 appearing thicker. These subtle differences can push the value much higher than the average collector expects. Another fascinating phenomenon is the die crack. Over time, as dies age and wear down, they begin to crack, leaving behind raised lines of metal on the coin. Some bicentennial quarters have die cracks that look like lightning bolts across Washington's head, across the drum, or near the letters. The longer and more dramatic the crack, the more collectors are willing to pay, but perhaps one of the most thrilling mysteries of this coin is the silver variety. That's right. Not all bicentennial quarters were made the same. While most were struck in copper-nickel clad, a special number were minted in 40% silver. These silver pieces were part of collector sets produced in San Francisco, and many people still find them mixed into circulation today. The sound is different, the color is different, and the value is far higher. And to this day, treasure hunters check every bicentennial quarter they find, hoping to strike silver. To off-center strikes are another exciting discovery. Imagine a coin where the entire design is shifted to one side, leaving part of the rim blank or stretched. These off-center bicentennial quarters can be worth handsome amounts depending on how dramatic the shift is. A slight off-center is interesting. A major one is rare and can be extremely valuable. Then there are struck-through errors, where something like grease, cloth fibers, or even bits of metal interfered with the die during production. These coins show missing details, parts of the drum missing, parts of the design faded, or strange flat patches that look like ghost marks. Some collectors love these mysterious mistakes because each one is unique and impossible to repeat. Clipped planchet errors also exist for this coin. A clipped planchet is where a portion of the coin's edge appears cut or curved inward. When combined with the iconic drummer design, these clipped edge errors become eye-catching pieces that collectors admire instantly. These varieties, errors, and surprises are why the 1776 to 1976 quarter continues to be one of the most searched coins in American coin collecting. People still hold on to jars full of them. Kids find them in their pocket change. Treasure hunters open rolls hoping for silver, doubling, or major mistakes. The beauty of this coin is that it is both common and rare at the same time. Everyone has seen one. But very few people have found the rare varieties that can change the value dramatically. Imagine someone sitting at a table late at night. They pour out a roll of quarters. They're not expecting much. And suddenly, there it is. A quarter with silver shine. A double date. A perfect off-center strike. In that moment, their heart starts racing. That is the magic of coin collecting. That is why the bicentennial quarter remains legendary. And that is the kind of excitement we live for here on USA Old Coins. Now we reach the part everyone waits for, the real market value. A typical circulated copper-nickel bicentennial quarter is worth its face value. But uncirculated examples, silver mint strikes, high-grade certified pieces, and error varieties can sell for far more. Recent collector sales and auctions show that special examples of the bicentennial quarter have sold for values between $5 and $6,500 depending on condition, rarity, metal type, and specific error. Yes, some have sold for amounts between $5 and $6,500. Before we end, remember to comment below about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Your comments help you learn the value of your coins and help our collector family grow stronger. And don't forget to subscribe to USA Old Coins and comment on the video to stay part of this community. And of course, like the video to help more collectors discover our channel. Top 5. The moment you pick up the 2021 D Washington quarter with the Crossing the Delaware design, you feel something spark inside you. This isn't just another quarter. It's bold. It's dramatic. It's powerful. It carries the weight of American courage, history, and artistry all in one small piece of metal. And today on USA Old Coins, we are diving deep into this incredible coin, its story, its mysteries, its rare errors, its hidden value, and the reasons collectors everywhere are obsessed with it. Take a quiet moment and really look at this quarter. On the front, George Washington appears sharper and more heroic than ever before, etched with deeper shadows, stronger details, and a powerful profile. But the true magic lies on the reverse. There you see General George Washington himself, standing tall and fearless at the front of the boat, his coat blowing in the freezing winter wind, his hand clutching the sword as he leads his men across the icy Delaware River. It's a moment captured from history, but alive in metal. A moment of determination. A moment that changed the American Revolution forever. This design replaced the America the Beautiful series and was minted for only 1 year. That alone makes the 2021D version special. But what makes collectors truly excited is the range of rare varieties and minting errors discovered on this specific Denver minted coin. These mistakes, born out of speed, pressure, and metal stress, have turned ordinary pocket change into gold for collectors. Step inside the Denver Mint during 2021. Machines running at high speed. Thousands of planchets sliding under massive dies. The presses striking with unbelievable force. And under that intense pressure, even the smallest error becomes a treasure waiting to be found. One of the most famous errors found on this coin is the die chip error. And on the crossing the Delaware quarter, die chips appear in the most dramatic places. Some collectors have found large die chips inside Washington's hat, giving it a thicker or misshapen look. Others appear on the hilt of his sword, making it look like his weapon has extra metal or an extended shape. Some even appear on his shoulder or coat folds. These raised chunks of metal look like small blobs, but the bigger they are, the more money they bring. Another thrilling possibility is the double die variety. Imagine the letters in United States of America appearing slightly doubled. Imagine "In God We Trust" with a faint shadow. Imagine the sword showing extra lines. Doubling on this coin is subtle, but collectors are constantly checking under magnification because even a mild double die on a modern quarter can raise its value dramatically. Struck-through errors are also found on some 2021D quarters. These happen when grease or debris gets in the die and causes missing details, smooth patches, ghost-like areas, or faint lettering. When the struck-through area is big, these coins instantly become rare and desirable. Then comes the misaligned die strike. Some 2021D quarters show slight shifts where part of the design leans toward one side. The rim becomes thicker on one end and thinner on the other. These misalignments can be minor or dramatic. But the stronger the shift, the more collectors want it. Another rare type that has surfaced is the partial collar strike, where the edge reading comes out twisted or incomplete. These coins have strange edges, thicker rims, or distorted borders. They stand out instantly when you roll them between your fingers. Some collectors have even reported off-center strikes. Imagine Washington's boat drifting slightly off the center of the coin. Imagine the lettering sliding toward the rim. Even a small off-center strike makes the coin valuable, and a major one can make it extremely expensive. The 2021D crossing the Delaware quarter also has one more special layer of mystery. Some collectors have found coins with unusually sharp or unusually weak strikes. A very sharp strike shows every detail: Washington's coat threads, the texture of the water, the outline of the sword. A weak strike shows fading details and soft surfaces. Both extremes can be collectible depending on how dramatic the difference is. This is why coin hunters, roll searchers, and enthusiasts have poured their energy into this coin since the day it was released. Every week, new errors and varieties seem to appear online. Every day someone posts a picture of a discovery that makes collectors stop scrolling and take a closer look. The 2021 D crossing the Delaware quarter has become one of the most active modern coins in the treasure hunting world. Now imagine this. A collector opens a roll of quarters on a quiet evening. The coins spill out like silver rain across the table. And then, one coin shines differently. A thick die chip. A doubled letter. A strange rim. A missing detail. That moment of discovery is priceless. That breath you hold as you bring the coin closer, that is why collectors love this hobby. That is why this coin has become legendary in such a short time. It's not just metal. It is American history, heroic artwork, and hidden treasure all fused into one. Now, we arrive at the part everyone waits for, the real market value. A normal circulated 2021 D crossing the Delaware quarter is worth face value. But uncirculated, high-grade, and dramatic error coins can sell for much more. Recent real market collector sales and small auction results show this coin selling anywhere from $5 to over $200 depending on rarity, error type, and condition. Yes, some of these quarters have sold for values between $5 and $200. Before we finish, remember to comment below about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Your comments help this beautiful collector community grow stronger every day. And don't forget to subscribe to USA Old Coins and comment on the video so you never miss new stories and new discoveries. And of course, like the video to support the channel and help more treasure hunters find us. Top 6. From the moment you pick up the 2022 P. Washington quarter featuring Dr. Sally Ride, it feels like holding a piece of human achievement. Not just a coin. Not just metal. This quarter is a tribute to courage, intellect, and the kind of history that lifts the world higher. And today on USA Old Coins, we are taking a deep journey through this extraordinary coin, its story, its rare errors, its collectible secrets, and the reasons collectors everywhere are searching for it with excitement. Turn the coin slowly under the light. The obverse shows a bold new portrait of George Washington, sharper and more expressive than past designs. But the magic waits on the reverse, where you see Dr. Sally Ride, the first American woman in space, standing proudly before the brilliant curve of Earth. Her calm smile, her astronaut suit, and the distant reflection of our planet create one of the most inspiring designs ever placed on a United States quarter. This coin is part of the American Women Quarters program. But the 2022 P. Sally Ride issue stands out among collectors because it combines a breathtaking design with a surprising number of mint errors reported from the Philadelphia Mint. These unexpected mistakes transform normal pocket change into rare, valuable discoveries, and that thrill fuels the excitement of every collector who checks their coins carefully. Let's step into the world of the mint for a moment. Picture the giant machines pressing thousands of coins per minute. Imagine sheets of planchette sliding into position, the dies heating up with rapid strikes, pressure levels rising, metal moving at extreme speed. And in that intense environment, even a tiny shift can create an error that becomes priceless for collectors. One of the most common and most loved errors appearing on the Sally Ride quarter is the die chip. Collectors have found die chips around the letters in "In God We Trust," inside Sally Ride's hair, around her spacesuit, and even near the curve of the Earth. Some are tiny, barely a grain of raised metal. But others are large and dramatic, creating shapes that stand out instantly. The bigger the chip, the more collectors want it. Another exciting possibility is the double die variety. Imagine the letters United States of America appearing slightly doubled. Imagine the motto showing faint extra lines. Imagine the curve of the Earth showing a ghost-like second edge. These doubled images are among the most prized finds in modern coins, and collectors constantly check their 2022 quarters under bright lights and magnification, hoping to spot even the faintest doubling. Then we have struck-through errors, some of the rarest and most mysterious. These happen when grease, dust, metal flakes, or debris get between the die and the planchet during the strike. The result is a missing detail, a smooth patch, or a strange imprint. When the struck-through area appears on Sally Ride's astronaut suit or on the Earth design, it instantly becomes a conversation piece that collectors search for eagerly. Misaligned die strikes are another important variety. On some 2022 P quarters, the design appears shifted toward one side, leaving the rim thinner on one edge and thicker on another. These misalignments can be small or dramatic. The more dramatic it is, the more valuable the coin becomes. Off-center strikes are also possible, though rare. These are some of the most visually stunning errors. Imagine Dr. Sally Ride shifted several percent off-center, the rim incomplete, part of the design pushed toward the edge. These coins are instantly rare and sometimes worth far more than ordinary error types. Another thrilling error type that appears occasionally is the partial collar strike, where the reading on the edge of the coin is uneven, twisted, or incomplete. These coins feel different when you rub your fingers across them, and collectors notice right away. Even weak strikes and overly strong strikes have been reported. A weak strike can cause Sally Ride's face or suit to appear soft, faded, or ghost-like. A strong strike brings out intense details, showing the fabric lines of her suit, the outline around her hair, and the curvature of the earth with incredible sharpness. Both extremes have collector appeal depending on how unique the strike looks. This is why the 2022 P Sally Ride quarter has become such a hot topic online. Every week, new photos appear from collectors who find unusual die chips, strange doubling, or mysterious missing details. Roll hunters have opened thousands of rolls. Kids check their pocket change. Adults grab magnifying glasses and lamps. And every new discovery adds fuel to the excitement around this beautiful coin. Imagine the moment a collector sits at a table late at night. They spill out a fresh roll of quarters, letting the silver reflections scatter across the surface. One coin catches their eye. Something looks different. A bump near the earth. A doubled letter. A strange mark on the suit. They lift it. Their heart beats faster. They lean closer. That tiny moment of discovery becomes a memory they'll never forget. That is the heart of coin collecting. That is why this quarter is loved, because it isn't just money, it's adventure, history, and mystery all in one. Now we arrive at the part collectors wait for, the real value. A regular circulated 2022 P Sally Ride quarter is worth face value. But uncirculated examples, high-grade pieces, and dramatic error coins can sell for much more. Actual collector sales and auction listings show values ranging from $5 to over $150 depending on the error size, rarity, and condition. Yes, these have sold for real amounts between $5 and $150. Before we close, remember to comment below about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Your comments help the community and help you learn the value of the treasures you already own. And don't forget to subscribe to USA Old Coins and comment on the video to stay connected with new coin discoveries every day. And of course, like the video to support the channel and help more collectors find our coin stories. Top 7. The year was 1970, a time when America was changing, dreaming, and rebuilding its identity. And right in the middle of that chapter, a simple silver-colored coin rolled out of the mint, yet over 50 years later, the Washington quarter of 1970 has become one of the most talked about coins among collectors. Today on USA Old Coins, we bring that story to life in a way that makes you feel the history in your hands. Hold the 1970 quarter between your fingers for a moment. Feel the weight of it. It carries the calm, steady portrait of George Washington on the obverse, a design the world has seen billions of times, yet the 1970 issue has a silent power of its own. Flip it over, and the bold American eagle dominates the reverse, a symbol of strength, precision, and national pride. But what makes this coin truly captivating is not just the design. It is everything hidden behind it, the secret varieties, the rare errors, and the unexpected treasures that collectors cherish even today. 1970 was a year of intense activity at the United States Mint. The Mint produced coins in both Philadelphia and Denver, but something unusual happened that year. Because silver coinage had ended just a few years earlier, people were hoarding and saving any coin that felt special or unusual. And that atmosphere created one of the greatest collecting frenzies in modern American coin history. The 1970 quarter sits right inside that chapter, struck during a time when every small error or odd strike could turn a normal coin into something extraordinary. Collectors quickly learned that 1970 quarters are not all the same. Some have sharp details. Some look faint. Some show tiny raised bumps, and others have unusual doubling. These differences come from long minting runs, worn dies, and production pressure, and the result is a series of hidden gems waiting to be discovered. The first thing collectors search for is the doubled die. On some 1970 quarters, the word Liberty shows faint doubling, especially around the L and the B. On others, the motto "In God We Trust" reveals shadow-like outlines. Even the date 1970 can show extra thickness when the die shifts. These doubled images turn an ordinary quarter into a collectible prize, and the stronger the doubling, the more valuable the coin becomes. Another area of excitement lies in the reverse. Some eagles on the 1970 quarter show doubled feathers or doubled lettering on quarter dollar. Under a magnifying glass, you can see ghost-like outlines that give collectors chills, the kind of discovery that makes a person's heart jump when checking their change. Then we come to die chips. These little raised metal bumps appear in all sorts of surprising places: inside Washington's hair, near the eagle's wings, around the rim, or inside the letters of trust. These chips form when tiny cracks appear in the die, and when the metal fills those cracks, the result becomes a highly desirable mint error. Small chips are collectible. Larger ones are exciting. But the very large, dramatic die chips, those are the ones collectors chase for big premiums. But one of the most famous legends of the 1970 quarter comes from the proof coins. In the San Francisco Mint, a tiny number of 1970s proof quarters were mistakenly struck over a 1967 silver Canadian quarter. Imagine the shock when collectors discovered a faint ghost of the Canadian design underneath the American design. These amazing dual-layer coins have become some of the most valuable error quarters in the history of United States coinage. Most collectors will never see one in their lifetime. But the story alone fuels the mystery and excitement around the 1970 quarter. Another class of errors that make this coin special includes off-center strikes. When the planchet sits slightly out of place, the quarter emerges with the design pushed toward the edge, leaving blank metal on the other side. A small off-center strike is interesting. A large one is rare. And a 1970 quarter that is extremely off-center can command remarkable value. Struck through errors add even more variety. A piece of metal, wire, cloth, or grease stuck to the die during minting creates strange missing areas or deep impressions on the coin. When these struck-through errors appear across Washington's face or across the eagle, they instantly stand out as unique conversation pieces. Even edge errors can make the 1970 quarter valuable. Partial collars, broad strikes, and tilted collar strikes can all occur when the coin is not perfectly aligned in the striking chamber. These coins look slightly oversized or have unusual rims, details that make collectors stop and examine the piece carefully. Think about the thrill of searching through a jar of coins at night. You look at a quarter casually, and something looks different. Maybe the date looks thicker. Maybe the eagle's feathers look doubled. Maybe a strange raised bump appears on the rim. In that moment, the 1970 quarter becomes not just a coin, but a discovery, a story, a treasure. That feeling is what keeps collectors searching year after year, and that is why the 1970 Washington quarter has remained one of the most beloved coins among American collectors. It carries history. It carries rarity. It carries mystery. And it carries the possibility of hidden value waiting in plain sight. Now, the moment everyone waits for, the real market value of the 1970 quarter. Regular circulated pieces are worth face value. But rare errors, doubled dies, off-center strikes, and high-grade mint state examples have sold for real prices between $15 and over $3,000 depending on rarity and condition. Before we end, remember to comment below about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Your coins might have secrets you never noticed. Don't forget to subscribe to USA Old Coins, comment on the video, and like the video to support the channel and help more collectors discover these amazing stories. Top 8. In the heart of the 1970s, America was moving into a new era. The music was changing, cars were changing, fashion was changing, and in the middle of this transformation, a quiet little coin entered the pockets of millions. Today on USA Old Coins, we bring you the story of the Washington quarter dollar 1974, a coin that looks ordinary to most people, but holds mysteries, hidden varieties, and rare errors that collectors chase with passion. Imagine holding a 1974 quarter in your hand. It feels familiar, yet it carries the spirit of an America still recovering from the events of the previous decade. The portrait of George Washington stands strong on the obverse, a design Americans have trusted for generations. The reverse shows the iconic American eagle with its wings spread wide, symbolizing vigilance, power, and freedom. But beneath this simple design lies a world of hidden details that many never notice until the coin is placed under the right light or magnification. The 1974 quarter may not be a silver coin, but it carries an incredible amount of collector energy because this was one of the last years before the mint introduced new materials, redesigned coins, and major processes in the late 70s and 80s. The 1974 issue marks the final breath of a classic era in U.S. minting, and that alone makes it a coin worth studying, holding, and appreciating. But what truly makes this coin exciting is not the standard strikes. It's the unexpected errors and rare anomalies that have turned regular pocket change into incredible discoveries. Let's begin with one of the most famous types, the double die errors. Some 1974 quarters show doubling in Liberty, especially around the L and Y. Others show doubling in the motto "In God We Trust" or in the date itself. Under magnification, these letters appear thicker, shadowed, or ghost-like, signs that the die shifted during creation. These doubling varieties can transform a common quarter into a valuable rarity. Another famous collector favorite is the obverse die chip. Some 1974 quarters have small raised metal blobs in Washington's hair, near the forehead, above the eye, or around the rim. These chips happen when the die begins to break or erode, and the metal fills those tiny cracks. The larger the chip, the rarer the coin. Some coins even show a dramatic break near the mint mark. These become highly valuable because the break is clear and bold. On the reverse, the eagle tells its own story. Some quarters from this year display doubling on the eagle's wings, tail feathers, or on quarter dollar. These coins appear normal until you tilt them just slightly, revealing the faint twin outlines that collectors dream about. Whether the doubling is minor or strong, each one of these error pieces becomes a collectible treasure, but the 1974 quarter does not stop there. There are off-center strikes, coins where the design is shifted noticeably to one side. When 5% off-center, the coin becomes interesting. At 10 to 20% off-center, it becomes rare. At 30% or more, it becomes a target for serious collectors who understand the value of these dramatic mint mistakes. Struck-through errors bring even more drama. Imagine a coin where a piece of cloth, wire, metal shaving, or grease got stuck between the die and planchet. The result is a quarter with dents, missing areas, deep streaks, or strange shapes on the surface. No two struck-through errors are the same, making each one a one-of-a-kind collectible. There are even 1974 quarters with missing clad layers. These coins look copper-colored on one side or on both sides because the nickel layer separated during minting. This error transforms a familiar-looking quarter into something astonishing, the sort of coin that collectors immediately grab before anyone else can notice what it truly is. Partial collar errors also appear in this year. When the coin is not seated correctly in the collar during striking, the rim becomes wide, distorted, or unusually thick. These broad strike coins look oversized and instantly attract attention from experienced collectors. The beauty of the 1974 quarter is that it teaches collectors a powerful lesson. Not all rare coins shine at first glance. Some hide in the shadows of everyday circulation. Some sit in old jars. Some lie at the bottom of drawers for decades. One person may look at a 1974 quarter and see 25 cents, but a true collector sees a possibility, a hidden story waiting to be uncovered, and that excitement is what keeps coin lovers searching through their change again and again. There is something magical about recognizing value where others see nothing. It is the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the satisfaction of holding a piece of history that has survived half a century. As always, we encourage you, our viewers, to check your own coins carefully. Look for doubling. Look for off-center strikes. Look for chips, cracks, missing layers, or anything unusual. Every coin tells a story, and the 1974 quarter has more stories than most people realize. And remember, comment below with the coins you have so the channel can provide information about them. Now at last, the real market value of the Washington quarter dollar 1974. Common circulated quarters are worth face value, but high-grade mint state examples, major double dies, dramatic off-center strikes, missing clad layer errors, and strong die breaks have been sold in the real market for prices ranging from $15 to over $4,000 depending on rarity, grade, and demand. Do not forget to subscribe to USA Old Coins, comment on the video, and like the video to support the channel and keep these stories alive. Top 9. In the early 1980s, America was stepping into a new decade filled with technology, optimism, and massive cultural change. And right in the middle of that transition, without any fanfare, a simple coin rolled out of the United States Mint, a Washington quarter dollar dated 1981. Most people spent it without thinking twice. But today, on USA Old Coins, we uncover why this coin is far more interesting than it appears, why collectors search for it obsessively, and what secrets it still hides after more than 40 years. look closely at the 1981 quarter. The obverse features the timeless portrait of George Washington, strong, steady, and instantly recognizable. By the time this coin was minted, the Washington design had already been used for nearly 50 years, yet in 1981 something different was happening at the mint. Production was high, dies were wearing faster, and that created a perfect environment for strange and valuable mint errors to appear. Flip the coin over and the bold American eagle fills the reverse, a powerful symbol of leadership and confidence. But many collectors never realize how many varieties and oddities exist within this 1 year. If you've ever wondered how a coin that looks so normal can become rare, valuable, and exciting, the 1981 quarter is the perfect example. 1981 was a year of intense production at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, meaning billions of coins passed through the presses. And with high-speed minting, something becomes almost guaranteed: errors, die cracks, doubling, misalignments, and rare varieties that only sharp-eyed collectors catch. These hidden mistakes are exactly what transform an ordinary coin into a treasure point. One of the most sought-after varieties of this year is the doubled die. Some 1981 quarters show doubling on Liberty, especially around the L and T. Others show slight doubling on I. In God We Trust, giving the letters a shadow-like appearance. When these letters split, stretch, or appear thick, it means the die shifted during preparation. For collectors, this is gold, because doubled dies are among the most trusted and valuable types of mint errors. Another secret hiding inside this coin is the die crack. On many 1981 quarters, cracks appear across Washington's portrait, small lightning-shaped raised lines that reveal the stress placed on the die during production. Some cracks run along the top of the head, some across the hair, and some stretch all the way from Washington's shoulder toward the rim. Large cracks or dramatic breaks increase a coin's desirability, and the most extreme versions, known as die breaks or cut errors, are especially prized. The reverse side also offers its own mysteries. Some coins from this year show doubling on the eagle's wings or lettering. Under magnification, the words quarter dollar sometimes appear thick or slightly shifted. Even the feathers on the wings can show ghostly outlines that make collectors jump with excitement when they see them, but the fun doesn't stop there. Off-center strikes from 1981 are an entire category of collectible treasures. When the planchet sits incorrectly in the press, the design shifts to one side, leaving a blank crescent of metal on the opposite edge. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more thrilling the find. A slight misalignment intrigues collectors, but a large, bold off-center strike becomes a major showpiece in any collection. There are also missing clad layer errors, extremely rare but incredibly valuable. These quarters appear copper-colored on one side or even on both sides. When you hold one of these coins, it looks instantly strange, almost like a mistake you're not sure how to explain. That's because during minting, the nickel layer failed to bond properly, leaving the copper composition exposed. These errors are extremely collectible and worth far more than people expect. Another category includes struck-through errors. Imagine a piece of fabric, metal shaving, grease, or even wire getting caught between the die and planchet at the exact moment of striking. The result is a coin with deep impressions, missing design areas, or unusual dents that can't be found anywhere else. These errors are one-of-a-kind pieces. No two are ever the same. Then we have broad strikes and partial collars. When the collar that shapes the rim fails, the coin spreads outward slightly, appearing larger than normal. These coins look odd at first glance, but once collectors understand what they are, their value skyrockets. Even the most subtle details matter to collectors of this year. A faint die polishing line, a rotated die, or unusual rim thickness, All these things turn a normal-looking coin into something worth careful attention. But perhaps the greatest beauty of the 1981 quarter is that it still circulates today. That means rare errors may still be hiding in your pocket change. It's possible that someone watching this video has a treasure sitting in a drawer or in an old jar full of coins. And that possibility keeps the thrill alive, keeps collectors searching, and keeps the story of this coin moving forward. Collectors love the 1981 quarter because it embodies excitement, mystery, and the hope of surprising value. It reminds us that history is not always found in museums, sometimes it's found right in your hand. And now, as always, make sure you comment below about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Your coins might hold value you never realized. Don't forget to subscribe to USA Old Coins, comment on the video, and like the video to help us grow and continue bringing these hidden stories to life. Finally, the real market value of the Washington quarter dollar 1981. While regular circulated coins hold face value, high-grade mint state examples, dramatic errors, missing clad layers, strong double dies, and exceptional off-center strikes have sold in real auctions for prices ranging from $20 to over $3,500 depending on rarity and condition. Top 10. In the late 1980s, America was buzzing with new inventions, neon lights, powerful cars, and the early rise of modern technology. And while the world was changing fast, the United States Mint was quietly producing millions of coins that people spent without a second thought. Yet among those everyday coins, one stands out today, not because of silver or special alloys, but because of the countless secrets hidden in its strikes. On USA Old Coins, we bring you the story of the Washington quarter dollar 1988D, a coin that looks ordinary but carries a world of mystery beneath its surface. Hold a 1988D quarter in your hand and you immediately feel its connection to a time when the Denver Mint was pushing hard to keep up with the nation's booming demand for circulating currency. Billions of coins flowed through the machines, and whenever production rises, something magical happens. Errors, varieties, misstrikes, and hidden treasures begin to appear. And the 1988D quarter is filled with them. Look at the obverse. George Washington's familiar portrait stands strong, yet this year brought some of the most fascinating imperfections collectors still chase today. On many coins, the dies used in production were worn, polished too much, or slightly misaligned. This created subtle differences in the details, differences that only true collectors appreciate and value. Some 1988D quarters show thinning in the lettering of Liberty or in the motto "In God We Trust." Others show extra thickness, signs of doubling caused by a die shift. Even the date can appear stretched or shadowed, and when that happens, the coin becomes far more than a simple quarter. It becomes a collectible piece of minting history, but the real excitement begins when you flip the coin over. On the reverse, the American eagle spreads its wings proudly, yet some wings from this year tell a completely different story. Collectors have found doubling on the eagle's tail feathers, doubling on the wingtips, and even doubling on the lettering around the rim. These double die reverses are among the most sought-after varieties of the 1988D series. Then there are the die cracks, one of the signature features of coins from the late 80s. With intense production pressure, the dies often began to fracture. On some 1988D quarters, you can see raised lines stretching across Washington's hair, crossing the neck, or reaching toward the rim. On the reverse, cracks sometimes run from the eagle's wings or across the shield. The most dramatic of these cracks become cut errors, large blobs of metal that form when a piece of the die breaks off completely. These are rare, bold, and incredibly collectible. Missing clad layer errors bring even more excitement. Every now and then, a planchet enters the press without its nickel coating, leaving the quarter with an exposed copper color on one or both sides. These coins look instantly unusual, almost like a mistake someone made in their garage, but in reality they are genuine mint errors, extremely special pieces that collectors will pay high amounts to own. Off-center strikes are another treasure from this year. When the planchet is not properly aligned in the striking chamber, the entire design shifts to one side. Slight off-center strikes make the eye pause. But dramatic ones, where 20-30, or even 40% of the design is missing, become rare trophies for collectors. There are even 1988 D quarters with broad strike errors. Without the collar to hold the planchet tightly, the coin expands outward, giving it an oversized, stretched look. These pieces feel different, look different, and immediately spark curiosity. And let's not forget struck-through errors, the unpredictable mistakes that occur when something slips between the die and the blank coin at the moment of striking. These errors leave deep lines, dents, missing sections, and sometimes impressions of foreign objects. No two struck-through errors are ever the same, which makes each coin a one-of-a-kind discovery. The reason collectors love the 1988 D quarter is simple. It is a modern coin with old-style mystery. It is a coin you can still find today in pocket change, yet it offers the thrill of discovering something rare, something unexpected, something hidden in plain sight. A moment as simple as checking your change at night could turn into a moment of excitement, because that worn old quarter may hold a secret that no one else noticed, and that is the magic of coins like this one. They remind us that history is not always about gold or silver. Sometimes it is about the everyday objects we use without thinking, the objects that quietly carry the story of a nation's past. Every collector understands that feeling, the thrill of pulling a coin from circulation and realizing it is not ordinary at all. So before we reach the final value of the 1988 D quarter, remember this: check your coins carefully. Study the rim, the letters, the wings of the eagle. Look for cracks, doubling, missing layers, strange shapes, and anything that looks slightly unusual. And make sure to comment below about your own coins so the channel can provide information about them. Many viewers have found rare pieces in their own homes without even realizing it. Now for the real market value of the Washington quarter dollar 1988 D. While standard circulated coins hold face value, high-grade mint state examples, strong double dies, dramatic off-center strikes, missing clad layers, and major die breaks have sold at real auctions for prices ranging from $20 to over $2,500 depending on rarity and condition. Don't forget to subscribe to USA Old Coins, comment on this video, and like the video to support the channel and help bring more amazing stories to collectors around the world.